Since Queen Elizabeth II's demise on the 8th of September, there has been non-stop coverage, endless live feeds across global media, with television anchors often breathlessly picking apart each gesture, discussing 70 years of the Queen's reign and beyond. Newspapers and websites have also been bursting with commentary. The Queen's passing has been covered from every angle by global media, dissecting the past, the present, as well as the future. Experts are now saying that blanket coverage like this, as it is called, may only encourage more people to turn off the news entirely, deepening the issues surrounding the industry. There has already been criticism of blanket coverage, of this blanket coverage. It's even more outside the UK. Television channels around the world witnessed an increase in number of viewers when the Queen's demise was announced. On Twitter as well, millions of messages were posted. But as the coverage continued, dissenting voices only grew louder. Why? Possibly because of infobesity. What is that? It is consuming too much information with only a finite ability to process it. It is also known as information overload, infoxication, or information anxiety. The sources of infobesity are all around us. Emails, search engines, news channels, social media, the list goes on. Lack of information hinders the decision-making process. However, excess information is not good either. It could complicate things for you. Surveys show consumers feel stressed and often exhausted when they are bombarded by news and information on multiple platforms. Many social media users also complained the Queen's death coverage had, in effect, pushed every other issue off the agenda. Some analysts say the coverage perfectly illustrated the dilemmas of the modern news industry. How to cover a story? How long to stay with it? Non-stop coverage or spread out across shows? The BBC reportedly received hundreds of complaints for the wall-to-wall coverage of the Queen's death. When the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, passed away in April last year, BBC received over 100,000 complaints. They said the coverage of the death was excessive. So how can you protect yourself from this information overload? For starters, you could establish your own barriers to protect yourself and those around you from the information overload. We all have constant notifications, seemingly urgent messages, not just related to our work life, but our personal lives as well. So if at times you do feel helpless trying to keep your head above the sea of information, here's what you can do. 1. Do a brain dump. What is that? Create a list of everything floating around your mind. Write down the thoughts that interrupt your workflow. Number 2, follow the 2-minute rule. From a list of the little tasks, designate a window every day to look through these tasks and work on them. Those tasks that would take you maybe 2 minutes or even less, like emails, phone calls, etc. Number 3, clump together similar tasks and complete each task when you begin. 4, limit social media distractions. And number 5, eat the frog first thing in the morning, which means important decisions should be made at the beginning of the day. Ultimately, the key to battle information overload is control. When, why, and what information you end up consuming is in your hands. So starting now, it is time to fight infobesity. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.